The kid can jump through the roof, but how does he stack up against some of the highest flyers to ever play the game? What's up everybody, it's Jimmy, and before we get into today's video, with tickets now available for this upcoming NBA season, what better time to utilize the best ticket app on the web, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that aggregates tickets from all over the web to make buying simple. They put a 1 to 100 score on each ticket to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad one. Green, that's a good deal. Red, not so much. You could even see the view from any seat within the app. Just click on the Me tab within the app and enter the promo code Jimmy to get $20 off your first order. In fact, you can even use SeatGeek to watch one of the best athletes you may ever see in your life. This kid, Zion Williamson. But Zion doesn't need an introduction. As long as you haven't been living under a rock in the last 24 months, you are more than likely familiar with Zion. The explosiveness, the hype, the thickness, size. But recently news surfaced that Zion accomplished a pretty interesting and amazing feat. Last week, Williamson tested his vertical leap for the first time and achieved an incredible mark. Actually, Zion's jump was so incredible that no one in the history of Duke basketball had ever achieved such a leap. Zion recorded a vert of 40 inches. 40 inches. A vertical leap that allows him to do stuff like this, and this, and this. Now, a 40-inch vert is impressive. It's elite, maybe even world class. But where does Zion's leaping ability stack up against the most explosive athletes in NBA history? Well, to understand how good a 40-inch vertical leap is, we have to get an idea of how high everyone else is jumping. First things first, whenever I say the words vertical leap in this video, I'm referring to a max vertical leap, or the jump height you achieve with a running start. I know it sounds unconventional, but in reality, this is how most elite level testing is done. Other than the NFL, virtually all vertical tests are with a running start, and when you think about it, this actually makes sense. Jumping from a running motion is much more practical in the realm of sports than jumping straight up from a stationary position. Every mark in this video will be a max vert. Now, according to a study conducted by theexercisers.com, the average male vert is about 20 inches. Half of Zion's. But those are just your average Joes. However, when compared to his peers, Zion is still a cut above the rest. The average vert for a Division I basketball player is 30 inches, still 10 below Zion's. We gotta take this up a notch. Luckily for us, the NBA has kept official records for their combine results for the last 19 years. Since the year 2000, only 79 of 1,045 players have reached a vertical of 40 inches or higher. Only the most elite college players get invited to the NBA Combine, and of those elite few, only 7% can jump like Zion. But for the most part, these results were from kids fresh out of college. Is Zion still elite when compared to the NBA's best? Well, the average NBA player has a max vert of 32 inches. Oddly enough, some of the most explosive players in the NBA didn't record the best results during their combine testing. Russell Westbrook, a man that you never want to get in front of on a basketball court, only registered a 36-inch vert during his combine testing. On the other end of the spectrum, you have DeMarcus Cousins, who recorded one of the most piss-poor results in combine history, a 23.5-inch standing vert and a 27-inch max vert. Still, nothing stoops quite as low as Pavel Podkolzin when he recorded a 20-inch max vert at the NBA Combine. Some other notable vertical leaps that may or may not surprise you are Tracy McGrady with 43 inches, Nate Robinson with 44 inches, Zach LaVine recorded a 42-inch vert during his combine testing, Vince Carter matched his cousin McGrady with a 43-inch vert, and apparently Nick Young can jump higher than Zion Williamson since he recorded an official max vert of 40.5 inches at the NBA Combine. And my mind is officially blown. But in fact, these are actually not the highest leapers to ever play in the league. Zion, you still have your work cut out for you because this is a list of the top 10 highest vertical leaps ever recorded in NBA history. At number 10, we have none other than Pat Connaughton with a 44-inch max vert. Yes, that Pat Connaughton. I know, hard to believe, right? But there it is, an NBA official 44-inch vert. Learn something new every day. At number 9 is David Thompson with a 44-inch vert as well. Now this one is much less surprising considering Thompson was a physical specimen. A 44-inch vertical leap in the 70s while wearing Converse. Let's just say there's a reason why Michael Jordan said he modeled his game after Thompson. At number 8 is the king himself, LeBron James with a 44.5-inch vert. Again, this isn't much of a surprise. When it's all said and done, LeBron might go down as the best athlete, well, ever. And with clips like this, I'd say that title is pretty accurate. Next on our list is Andrew Wiggins with a 45-inch vert. Now, some quote-unquote official vertical leap results don't have much evidence to back them up, but back in 2014, Wiggins posted this picture on Twitter and completely put away all doubt that he really could jump out the gym. Now, these next 5 athletes all have the same recorded max vert, so I'll just put them in order of like popularity or alphabetical, or the way their face looks. I don't know, deal with it. At number 6, we have DJ Stevens, who didn't have the best NBA career, but what he lacked in skill, he made up for in leaping ability with his 46-inch max vert, the highest vertical leap recorded at the NBA Combine since it started keeping official records in 2000. This next hooper is one that was so small, he didn't really have a choice but to be freakishly athletic, and that is Spud Webb. I guess when you're 5 feet 7 inches tall, you need a 46-inch vert to play in the NBA. Before Zach LaVine made us all insecure about our hops by going in between the legs from the free throw line, there was this guy, James White, the highest jumper I've ever personally seen. He was going between the legs from the free throw line before anyone even thought it was possible. There's even a video online of James actually touching the top of the backboard, something that a lot of people say they can do, but no one but James has actual evidence of. Back in 2013, James had a shot to show off his incredible hops to the world in the NBA dunk contest, but basically butchered every dunk and was immediately eliminated in the first round. At the third spot is Jason Richardson, another high flyer that doesn't get nearly enough credit. During a time when Vince Carter was jumping over 7-footers, Jason Richardson was quietly having stupid bounce. With a 46-inch vert, it's no surprise that there are only 2 men in NBA history that could jump higher. Next up is a player that could jump so high, we literally named him after his hops, Air Jordan. Back when Michael joined the league, stuff like this was unheard of. No one had ever witnessed a guy that could jump so high, he seemed to just stay there. The fact that Michael was so skilled only made his hops look that much more spectacular. If you saw a guy do this in 2018, it would be the top play on SportsCenter. Now imagine seeing this 30 years ago. You'd lose your mind. And people did. Michael's 46-inch max vert is tied for the second best in NBA history, and his game is almost unanimously even better. But there's still one guy that could jump even higher. At the top spot on our list is the original GOAT, the guy who made the NBA look like a rec league, the guy whose records are so ridiculous we basically act like they never even happened. My man, Wilt Chamberlain. And to add to his list of records that will never be broken is his 48-inch vertical leap. Yes, a 7'1" giant with a 48-inch vert. Again, a feat that sounds so impossible that we'll probably just write it off as a tall tale from long ago. But we've seen Wilt do amazing things before, and we have proof of those things. Scoring 100 points in one game, averaging more minutes per game than minutes in a game for an entire season, and leading the league in assists as a center. Wilt was even a world-class track and field athlete, winning multiple NCAA titles. So I wouldn't doubt if Wilt really could do all of the things people say he could. I mean, just look at these clips. The man was like a gazelle. There's even stories of Wilt grabbing a quarter off the top of the backboard, and although this sounds suspiciously like one of those exaggerated stories your grandpa would tell you 3 dozen times, I could definitely see this being true. And at 7'1" tall, if Wilt had a 48-inch vert, that would mean he could reach 5 inches above the backboard. So yeah, that sounds about right. But again, I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. It was back in the Wild West era of sports where anything happened and no one gave a damn, so we're just gonna go with it. Over the last few years, Zion Williamson has let the world know who he is. The high-flying, big bone Southern boy that will dunk from anywhere on anyone. So when news came back that he recorded the highest vertical leap in Duke basketball history, it was no surprise. But even with a 40-inch vert, it looks like Zion still has work to do if he wants to be considered one of the highest flyers to ever grace the courts. When compared to the NBA's very best, Zion doesn't even rank within the top 50. But at the rate his game is improving and his hops are increasing, I do not think this will be a problem for Zion. Leave a comment down below what your vertical leap is. I'm interested to see if we have any high flyers in attendance. I was actually surprised to find out that my vertical leap is actually higher than Zion's. A few years ago in college, I tested my max vert and got 41 inches. Last week, I posted this picture on my Instagram of that test. Sadly, these days that number isn't looking so good. But I'm proud of it, so I'm holding on to it for dear life. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're doing this every week, a few times a week. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.